into the opulent lobby of the Royal Beacon Hotel. Dressed in a simple hoodie and jeans, he exuded a casual demeanor. But inside, he was weary from a long day of travel. Despite being a global basketball icon, all he sought was a comfortable place to rest after his journey. As he approached the front desk, Marissa, a young receptionist with bright eyes but an air of superiority, glanced up and immediately formed an unfavorable impression. Judging by his attire, she concluded that he did not belong in such a luxurious establishment. "Can I help you?" she asked. Her tone clipped. Shaq smiled warmly. "I'd like to check in for the night." Marissa's expression hardened slightly. "I'm sorry, sir, but we're fully booked tonight." Shaq raised an eyebrow. "I just saw several rooms listed online." She shrugged dismissively. "We're experiencing a high volume of last-minute bookings. You might want to try another hotel." As Shaq turned to leave, disappointment washed over him. He felt the sting of rejection, not just as a celebrity but as a human being deserving of respect. "They've made a mistake," he thought quietly. Outside the hotel, Shaq took a deep breath of the cool night air. He walked to his car, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. This wasn't just about him, it was about everyone who had ever been judged unfairly based on appearances. That evening, Shaq sat alone in his hotel room elsewhere, contemplating the encounter. The more he thought about it, the more anger bubbled beneath the surface, not for himself but for those who might face similar treatment without his platform to speak out. He picked up his phone and called his financial advisors. "I want to buy the Royal Beacon Hotel," he announced decisively. "Are you serious?" one advisor replied incredulously. "You were just turned away." "Exactly," Shaq said firmly. "I want to turn it into a place where everyone feels welcome." The next morning, with the sun rising over the city, Shaq donned a tailored suit that accentuated his towering figure and commanding presence. He returned to the Royal Beacon Hotel with purpose. As he entered the lobby once more, staff members exchanged nervous glances. They recognized him from the previous night's incident. Marissa stood frozen at her post when she saw him approach. Her heart raced as she recalled her earlier dismissal of him. "Good morning," Shaq said with an air of authority. "I'm here to meet with your management." Joel, the hotel manager, emerged from his office looking bewildered. "Mr. O'Neill, what brings you back?" "I'm here to inform you that I am now the owner of this hotel," Shaq declared confidently. The shock registered on Marissa's face as she stammered out an apology. "I thought we were fully booked," she managed weakly. Shaq's voice remained steady but firm as he addressed her directly. "Last night you turned me away while giving a room to another guest right after me. I want to understand why." Marissa's cheeks flushed with embarrassment as she struggled to find words. I didn't recognize you." "That's exactly the problem," Shaq replied sharply. "You judged me based on my appearance rather than who I am." Joel stepped forward nervously. "Mr. O'Neill, I assure you this isn't how we operate." "Then why did it happen?" Shaq interrupted, his voice rising slightly. The tension in the lobby thickened as guests watched this unexpected exchange unfold. Shaq addressed everyone present. "I will not tolerate discrimination in my hotel. Every guest deserves respect, regardless of their clothing or background." His words resonated deeply within those who heard them. Following this pivotal moment, Shaq organized a staff meeting to share his vision for Royal Beacon Hotel. He emphasized that it would become a beacon of inclusivity and respect, a place where everyone felt welcome. "I want this hotel to reflect our community," Shaq said passionately as employees filled the conference room. "We are going to implement mandatory training sessions focused on unconscious bias and customer service equality." Marissa listened intently as Shaq continued outlining his plans for change. We will also encourage open dialogue among staff members to foster a positive workplace culture where everyone's voice matters. One employee raised their hand hesitantly. What if people resist these changes? Shaq smiled knowingly. Change is never easy. But it starts with each one of us being willing to learn and grow. He announced plans to rebrand the hotel entirely, shifting away from its elitist image towards one that embraced warmth and hospitality for all guests. Marissa found herself at a crossroads after her encounter with Shaq. She realized she needed to change her mindset and actions if she wanted to be part of this new vision. Eager to make amends, she threw herself into training sessions with determination. During one session focused on empathy in customer service, Marissa listened intently as an instructor shared stories about guests who had faced discrimination based on their appearance or background. It's our responsibility as hospitality professionals, the instructor said passionately, to ensure every guest feels valued and respected. One day during her shift, Marissa welcomed a family of color who arrived dressed casually yet radiating joy. Remembering her past mistakes, she treated them with utmost respect and kindness throughout their stay. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Marissa beamed as she checked them in. After they checked out, they left behind a heartfelt thank you note expressing their appreciation for her warm hospitality, a moment that profoundly impacted Marissa. Meanwhile, Joel grappled with his own insecurities about job security under Shaq's ownership. However, instead of succumbing to fear, he chose to embrace this opportunity for growth. Shaq recognized Joel's potential and retained him as part of his leadership team but tasked him with spearheading the hotel's transformation. Joel, Shaq said during one meeting, I need you to lead by example and show your team how important these changes are. Joel took this responsibility seriously. He began mentoring staff members on how to create memorable experiences for guests rather than merely focusing on profits or status. One day, while assisting an elderly guest struggling with luggage, Joel's kindness led to that guest becoming one of their most loyal patrons. Thank you so much for your help, the elderly man said gratefully. You've made my stay so much better. As months passed and changes took root at Royal Beacon Hotel, including Marissa's transformation into an exemplary employee, Shaquille O'Neal decided it was time for community outreach programs aimed at building bridges between diverse groups within the city. I want us to host events celebrating local cultures, Shaq announced during another staff meeting filled with excitement and anticipation among employees eager for change. They organized workshops featuring local artists showcasing their crafts while inviting residents from various backgrounds to participate in activities held at the hotel. These initiatives not only enhanced community relations but also attracted new clientele who appreciated the hotel's commitment to inclusivity and social responsibility. As the Royal Beacon Hotel continued to thrive under Shaquille O'Neal's leadership, an unexpected setback emerged that threatened to undo all their hard work. One morning, a negative review surfaced online, detailing a discriminatory incident during a recent event hosted at the hotel. The review quickly gained traction on social media, drawing attention from local news outlets and sparking outrage among community members. Shaq gathered his team for an emergency meeting in the conference room. The atmosphere was tense as employees exchanged worried glances. Marissa, now a confident and dedicated employee, sat among them, her heart racing at the thought of how far they had come and how quickly it could all unravel. Listen up, everyone, Shaq began, his voice steady but firm. We cannot ignore this situation. We need to address it head-on. Joel, the hotel manager, nodded in agreement. We've worked too hard to build our reputation. We can't let one incident define us. What happened exactly? Marissa asked, her brow furrowed with concern. Shaq pulled up the review on his laptop and read it aloud. During a recent event, staff members were reported to have treated guests poorly based on their appearance. This is unacceptable. The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the gravity of the situation. Shaq continued, "We need to take immediate action. I want to reach out to the guests involved and offer our sincerest apologies." "But what if they refuse to come back?" one staff member voiced anxiously. "We can't control their decisions," Shaq replied. "But we can control how we respond. We need to show them that we are committed to change." In the days that followed, Shaq and his team worked tirelessly to rectify the situation. They reached out to the guests mentioned in the review, inviting them back for a complimentary stay so they could experience the changes firsthand. Meanwhile, Shaq organized additional training sessions focused specifically on handling difficult situations with empathy and professionalism. He emphasized the importance of understanding each guest's unique background and treating everyone with dignity. During one of these training sessions, Marissa stood up and shared her own experience from when she had turned Shaq away. "I realized that I had judged someone based solely on their appearance," she admitted, her voice trembling slightly. "I never want to make that mistake again." The room was silent as her colleagues listened intently. "We have an opportunity here to learn from our mistakes and grow stronger as a team," she concluded. Shaq smiled proudly at Marissa's courage. "That's exactly the mindset we need," he said encouragingly. "Let's turn this setback into a stepping stone for improvement." After weeks of hard work and dedication from everyone involved at Royal Beacon Hotel, including Marissa's transformation into an exemplary employee, Shaquille O'Neal decided it was time for a grand reopening celebration. The event drew attention from local media outlets eager to cover this remarkable turnaround story. The once exclusive hotel now stood proudly as an example of unity amidst diversity in hospitality. Guests enjoyed live music performances representing various cultures while indulging in dishes inspired by global cuisines prepared by talented chefs brought on board specifically for this occasion. During the celebration, Marissa found herself reflecting on how far she had come since that fateful night when she had turned away Big Shaq at reception. Now here she was welcoming diverse guests into the newly transformed space filled with warmth and laughter. As the evening progressed, Shaq took to the stage to address the crowd. "Tonight is not just about celebrating our hotel, it's about celebrating our community," he said passionately. "We are committed to ensuring that every guest feels valued and respected here at Royal Beacon." The audience erupted in applause as Marissa beamed with pride alongside her colleagues. This was more than just a celebration. It was the success of Royal Beacon Hotel became more than just about profits. It showcased how businesses could create positive change within their communities when led by individuals committed to fairness and equality. Shaquille O'Neal continued using his platform beyond running hotels. He became an advocate against discrimination across industries while encouraging others within entertainment circles also take up similar causes. Marissa flourished under this new environment. She even began mentoring younger staff members herself, passing down lessons learned through her own experiences along with those imparted by Shaq's leadership style. Remember, she would tell them during training sessions filled with laughter and camaraderie among friends. "We have the power to make a difference in someone's life with just a simple act of kindness." Years passed since that fateful night when Shaquille O'Neal was turned away from the Royal Beacon Hotel, and the establishment had transformed into a beacon of inclusivity and respect. The hotel was no longer just a place to stay. It had become a community hub where people from all walks of life felt welcomed and valued. Shaq's vision had taken root, and the legacy of respect he cultivated continued to flourish. As Shaq walked through the lobby one sunny afternoon, he observed the vibrant atmosphere. Guests mingled, laughter echoed, and the staff engaged warmly with everyone. Marissa, now a seasoned employee and mentor, was at the front desk welcoming guests with genuine enthusiasm. "Welcome back to the Royal Beacon. We're thrilled to have you with us again," she exclaimed to a returning family who had stayed at the hotel several times since its reopening. The family smiled appreciatively. "Thank you, Marissa. We always feel at home here," the mother replied. Shaq approached Marissa, pride swelling in his chest. "You've done an incredible job," he said warmly. "It's heartening to see how far you've come since that first night." Marissa chuckled softly, recalling her past mistakes. "I owe it all to you, Shaq. You taught us that every guest deserves respect, no matter what they wear or how they look. Respect is a two-way street." Shaq replied thoughtfully. "When we give it, we receive it in return. It's about recognizing the humanity in everyone." The impact of this philosophy extended beyond the hotel's walls. Shaq often shared his story at community events, emphasizing the importance of treating others with dignity. His message resonated deeply with people from various backgrounds, inspiring them to reflect on their own behaviors and attitudes. One evening, during a charity gala hosted at the Royal Beacon, Shaq took center stage. "Tonight isn't just about raising funds, it's about acknowledging our shared humanity," he began. "We all come from different paths, but we can choose to walk together in respect and understanding." The audience listened intently as he recounted his experience of being turned away from the hotel. "That moment ignited a fire within me," he continued passionately. "I realized that we must actively combat discrimination in all its forms. Each of us has the power to make a difference, whether big or small." After his speech, attendees approached him with gratitude for his words. One young woman shared how inspired she felt. "Your story has motivated me to stand up against bullying in my school. I want to create an environment where everyone feels safe and respected." Shaq smiled warmly. "That's what it's all about. Change starts with each of us taking action." As time went on, Royal Beacon Hotel became known for its community outreach programs that celebrated diversity and inclusion. Shaq partnered with local organizations to host events that brought people together, cultural festivals showcasing different traditions, workshops on empathy and communication skills, and mentorship programs for underprivileged youth. Marissa played a pivotal role in organizing these initiatives. She often found herself leading workshops where she shared her journey of growth and learning about respect with others. "Every person has a story worth hearing," she told participants during one session. "When we take the time to listen and understand each other, we break down barriers." One day, as Marissa facilitated a workshop for high school students, she noticed a shy girl sitting quietly in the back. After discussing the importance of kindness and respect, Marissa encouraged everyone to share their thoughts. The girl hesitantly raised her hand. "I've always felt like I didn't belong," she admitted softly. "People at school can be really mean sometimes." Marissa walked over to her, kneeling down so they were eye level. "You are not alone," she said gently. "We've all faced challenges in feeling accepted at some point in our lives. But remember, your worth is not determined by others' opinions." The girl's eyes sparkled with hope as she nodded slowly. "Thank you for saying that." As Royal Beacon Hotel thrived as a symbol of respect and inclusivity, Shaq knew that their work was far from finished. He often reminded his team that change requires ongoing commitment. "Let's keep pushing boundaries," he urged during staff meetings. "We must continue educating ourselves and our community about respect for all individuals, regardless of race, gender, or background." Marissa echoed his sentiments during one meeting. "We can't just celebrate diversity, we need to actively promote it every day through our actions." Inspired by their discussions, the team launched an initiative called Respect Week, where they organized activities focused on promoting kindness throughout the hotel and surrounding community. "Let's challenge ourselves this week," Marissa proposed enthusiastically. "Each day we'll perform random acts of kindness, whether it's complimenting someone or helping someone in need." As Respect Week unfolded, stories poured in from guests and staff alike about how simple gestures made profound impacts on their lives. One guest shared how a staff member had helped her carry her heavy bags up the stairs without hesitation, a small act that made her feel valued after a long journey. Another employee recounted how they had taken time out of their day to listen to a colleague struggling with personal issues, a gesture that fostered deeper connections among team members. These stories served as reminders that respect isn't just an abstract concept, it's woven into our everyday actions. Years later, when reflecting back on how far they'd come since that initial incident at Royal Beacon Hotel, everyone involved recognized what truly mattered wasn't merely about luxury accommodations or high-profile guests, but rather fostering genuine connections based upon mutual respect regardless of background or appearance. Shaquille O'Neal proved that true power lies not merely in wealth or fame, but rather in utilizing influence responsibly to uplift others while advocating for justice where needed most. A legacy worth celebrating long after doors closed each evening at Royal Beacon Hotel, where every guest felt valued just like family no matter who they were outside its welcoming walls. Life lessons. The journey of transforming Royal Beacon Hotel into a sanctuary of respect teaches us invaluable life lessons. Respect is fundamental. Treating others with dignity is essential for building strong relationships. Empathy matters. Understanding others' experiences fosters compassion and connection. Change starts with us. Each individual has the power to create positive change within their communities. Celebrate diversity. Embracing differences enriches our lives and strengthens our society. Actions speak louder than words. Demonstrating kindness through actions leaves lasting impressions. In conclusion, let us remember that every small act of respect contributes to creating a more inclusive world where everyone feels valued and accepted. Share your thoughts on this story. How do you practice respect in your daily life? What steps can we take together to promote inclusivity? Your comments and insights are welcomed. Let's continue this important conversation and inspire one another towards positive change.